We're live!
Hello.
Welcome to an exciting new season of Bludgeon, a tactical new, fantastic game system that we got to play. Was it last year? Has it already been a year?
Has it been either last year or at least early this year?
Yeah.
At the very least early this
Last week.
So it feels like that because it's just been a lot of fun, and we're excited to play it this time with Mon and Kush. Oh, I can't wait to see your characters. And I'm gonna hand it over to our game master, Tejas.
Okay, hello. My name is Tejas. I'll be your Bludgeon master. I'll just introduce myself, and then we can kind of introduce ourselves quickly before I begin the session. Yeah, my name is Tejas. I'm one of the creators of the Bludgeon system. My day job is a video game designer, and this is what I do for fun, which is pretty one note in terms of personality. And that's me. Who'd like to introduce themselves next? Kush?
Me?
The real one.
Me.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Kush. You know who I am. Buy my book. That's me. Buy my book.
Yeah, it's called Wild in Moonlight.
Yeah, but yeah, let's not promote my book. Let's promote Bludgeon for now.
Yeah, which is free. But
Finally, something I can afford.
and you can find it at itch.io.
The link is in the description.
Awesome. And Kush, your book is on the DM's Guild, I believe?
It is, yeah.
Hashtag authors supporting authors.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw it to Abhishek, the other Kush. Take it away.
Hi, I'm Abhishek and I haven't written a book. Probably
Yet.
sure I can't read a book, but... and I work for a living, like every other wage cock out there, so that's me.
Abhishek was also in season 1 of Bludgeon. So if you want to know what happened to our characters before this, go watch that. And otherwise, I guess like have Meme Wars, Meme Jeff Wars with him on our server.
Mm-hmm.
I had to report you in 2 places. Mon, what about you?
Hello, I'm Mon. Also, some people know me as Translucent Tiefling, which is a very weird name, I know. But what can I do? Promotion and all. And yeah, I'm here, gonna play Bludgeon at last. It's been like quite a long time since I thought of playing Bludgeon, and I'm getting a chance now, so I'm very excited. And yeah, very excited to be here.
Cool beans. And finally, Shema.
Hello, I'm Shema. I'm also known as Kumi. I run a little D&D shop called Kumi's Curiosities. And yeah, I'll be handling the stream tonight. So if you have any problems with what's being streamed, please don't add me. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, shut the fuck up and just watch it. It's fine.
But
Hit
yeah,
like also.
this
Yes,
is
please,
episode 1 session, episode 1 season 2 of Bludgeon, and
Yeah.
this is going to be a 4-part series. I'm excited to see where this goes.
As am I. So our episode is called Chai, Sutta, and Generally Breaking the Fabric of the Universe, or something along those lines. So our campaign begins out well past Vaanarprastha, in a little town and a forest nearby it called Rayanagri. It is a town that's known for, of many things, known for its handicraft, specifically the furniture that they carve out here. In this quaint little place, you've been summoned, each of you, for a particular job by who was once initially a mysterious benefactor, but has been revealed to you to be one Divya Mathur. She is a Vanar, tall and incredibly elegant. Easily someone you can tell just by looking at her that has grown up in privilege. She has asked you to do something very oddball, which is that she suspects that there is a particular forge master who has been crafting weapons to fuel a insurgency group, but has been doing so in a weird way where the weapons are just good enough so that the rebellion continues, as none of their weapons are as effective as they should be, and the conflict continues onwards. And she wants you to find this person and to get enough evidence of their malpractice to give to the insurgents, to let them know that they're dealing with someone who is actively sabotaging them, in the hopes, more or less, of quelling the conflict that has arisen. She has gathered you outside of Rayanagri, at the very edges of the forest, where a large construction has been underway. Some of you recognize this and realize that this is it's not something you see in this part of the world, but in other parts of the world, in cities like Pishun, it is a device that is used to tear open the fabric of reality so that you might peer into and sometimes step through to another plane of existence. And this is where Divya explains to you that this is where she suspects this forge master to have his forge, and where you have to go. And that's where we open our campaign. At the edge of Rayanagri, in the inside of a forest. Yes,
Right as we start, there's someone at my door. Exactly back.
no worries, take your time. In the meantime, we are at the edge of this forest. You hear around you work nearing completion. There's a bunch of worksmen who are finishing up parts of this structure. There are craftsmen who are inscribing the last of the runes. There are jewelers who are adding these rare crystals to the structure at specific points and making sure that they're affixed with just the right wires, just the right metals. Nearby is a bit of a tent with two sides that are open, where you are seated with Divya on these very comfortable chairs with a nice little coffee table between you, where you're being served chai. And Pichase, you hear this constant stream of gali, which kind of helps build the mahol of the area. And none of it directed to you, of course. It's mostly just people working. And it's here that Divya is explaining the situation to you and has finished her explanation of the fact that you have to go in and find evidence of this person and what they're doing and to come back. All four of you are seated around her. So let's start with Ajay. Ajay, why don't you describe Ajay?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ajay is a Daitya by race.
Mhm.
Yeah, so blue skin, horns, a spiky tail, walks and talks much like a Daitya, but with some Vanar mannerisms because he was raised by Vanars. And from when you last saw him, he is a little different. He now wears a golden kada on his hand, and from where it meets his skin till the tip of his fingers, his hand is now a little translucent, a little longer. Has a claw-ish type quality to it. He's also wearing a gold chain that is shaped like thorns and vines, which is not his style, but is somehow emanating a sort of twitching black and white energy to it.
Mhm.
And yeah, and I think what Ajay would be doing at this point is going to, okay, I Ajay as a person would probably know a little bit about the dynamics of the construction workers, right? Uh, like which sort of groups look down on one another. The jewelers might look down on the arcane, whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna go sow some discord there.
Okay.
Things have been a little too quiet for me.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So, you hear the rest of the discussion, and then you're like, "Excuse me, I'll be right back," and you get up to leave.
Yeah.
Pranath, you see Ajay step away. Would you like to describe yourself?
Yeah. Pranath is a Platikra. I don't know if that's how it is pronounced.
It is.
But yeah, and he has brown fur, a blue long bill, but most of it is always covered with a checkered blue hood of sorts. He likes to keep himself covered because he does not like to show how many scars his body has. It's just cuts after cuts after cuts throughout. And that is because of his rigorous training in being an assassin. That's what he is, an assassin.
Mhm.
And Prannath is not his real name. It was a title given to him because it means the king of souls. Because he is, the soul of his target belongs to him, not to them. And you would see very well hidden in his fur, just like the top of the hilt of two blades on either side,
Mhm.
and they just like disappear into his fur. And that's how Pran looks. And he usually likes to keep distance from people. He does not like to get involved in social scenarios. He's the broody assassin, the problematic rogue in that equivalent.
Alrighty. So you sip at your chai and you wait for someone else to take the lead. Chanda, why don't you describe yourself?
Okay. So, in midst of people who are assassin and who are looking really strong, you see a very sophisticated Bhalu. Like she looks very older. Her the black fur have sort of gray around, and you see she's wearing this khadi sari and she have this jhola, and she doesn't look like she belongs there. It feels like she belongs in some college classroom, and she is just sitting sort of uncomfortably and looking around. She's looking at Divya. It seems like Divya might be an old friend who just called her and didn't tell her why she called her, and now she is sort of is not talking to anyone, but she have a cup of chai in front of her which she's sipping regularly, slowly, and there is a bun maska on the side, and she's just dipping the bun and just focusing on her tea and her bun maska right now.
Nice. And finally, Madam Magarmach, would you like to describe yourself?
So Set is sitting fashionably in the center of all this, and a spotlight that just seems to be radiating from a window nearby is this teal green dragon, which is essentially a crocodile lady. Sitting in this chair, her translucent cream, sparkly sari just draped over her shoulders, this really fancy necklace, and long, sharp talons and this elaborate makeup as well. And there's this book that just seems to be like almost fluttering in her hand as she just throws it up and it floats and just lands in her palm and she does it again. And then she just closes it and looks dramatically at the woman in front of her and says, Miss Divya, do not fret. We'll take care of it. You don't need to worry about all this. See, now I can promise you that with us over here accompanying you, there is no danger that's going to befall you, okay? And this mission that you need us to do is taken care of. I'm telling you, it's done. It's a done deal. We have got your back, your front, everything, okay? Like, what do we sign? Where do I put that? Like she leans very confidently and looks over her. But is there any sort of information she would know about Divya Mathur? Who is Divya Mathur?
I would like you to roll memory.
A memory. Okay, so
I
that.
love the confidence that Madam Magarmach said that nothing will happen to you while we're here. while Ajay is quite visibly walking right in front of her to cause some chaos.
Hey, we can be hopeful. So I rolled 2d6, right? Do I?
No. Just a d20 and add your memory, please.
My memory, got it.
Yeah.
And any competencies that may.
Could I use Great Recall?
Yeah, you could use Great Recall. That'd be perfect for this one.
Awesome. So that's a 2d6 I can add. Okay, that's a 5. I really need this 2d6. 2, 7. That is 11 total.
11 total. Okay. She definitely looks familiar. You were in Vaanarprastha for a while. A couple of months back, though. And so you're pretty sure you've met this person. It must have been one of the occasions while you and Ajay maybe were out and about, maybe doing odd jobs before or after the Unsound Underground incident. But you just the best you recall about her is that yes, your paths have crossed, and that's most likely why she has asked for you and Ajay specifically. You're not so sure about the other two, but they're, you'll find out what those reasons are. But for the time being, nothing beyond that comes out at you. Just like this nagging feeling that, yeah, we've met, but I can't remember. And while you're thinking about this, she leans forward and says, "Thank you, Madam Magarmach. I understand that you and your friends are all very competent. My friend Chanda here, I know, is someone trustworthy, which is why she's here as well. I would not worry about my safety because, you see, I'm not going in. That's just you and a team of these fine gentlemen and women over here." And she kind of just waves airily at the construction happening nearby. They will, a smaller team will be going through to ensure that the tear in the fabric stays open, so that you have the time you need to find everything and then come back. So yeah, I'll be here awaiting your return. Is there anything else that any of you need to know? And she kind of peers over to see where Ajay has gone. And meanwhile, Ajay, you've walked over, you see the construction's getting close to wrapping up. You see there's a team assembling all the parts that they'll have to take through the tear once it's open. This construction has a sort of conical shape facing one way, with a bunch of crystals insert at the lower half of that cone. And even that cone is not like a perfect cone. It's more of got like a little bit of a concave set to it. People are just finishing off. There's a sort of manager who's kind of walking around double checking everything, occasionally telling someone to just quickly fix something. So there's a group of craftsmen who are just standing about, who you think could be a good target.
Okay. Yeah.
So what would you like to do?
Okay. Differentiate between the craftsmen and the construction workers.
So there are like a few groups, right? There's the construction crew. There's the like the carpenters who are doing more of the fine work of adding in runes and maybe some of the more precise adjustments. And then there's the jewel and metal team, which is like 3 or 4 characters who are adding those highly specialized bits to this machine.
Mm,
And of course the project manager.
Yeah, so the jewel workers are the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any jewel worker groups in within eyeshot?
No, like there's 3 of them, and they're the ones who are mostly doing the final adjustments. Most of the construction crew is done. They're just standing off to the side. They're actually the ones who you realize as you walk towards them, the ones who have made the chai. They've got a small little chula going. There's like a big pot on top of it where the chai is being brewed, and they're just standing around it, slowly just adding bits of chai to like little cups as they're drinking and just chatting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the carpenters, and I'm gonna start bitching about how the jewel and layers think they're so high and mighty. They like they kept saying something about he'll go and say, I mean, these are all Vanars, right?
Predominantly Vanar, but between them there's another Palu. You notice a dwarf as well.
Yeah. I'll address mainly to the Vanars because I know how hot-headed they are, because I was raised as one. I'm gonna talk in the Vanar dialect, and I'm gonna greet them, and then I'm gonna make some small talk, and then as we're talking and say, I never got the hierarchy of all this construction work, to be quite fair to you guys. I mean, to me, you guys are just as valuable as the jewel and layers, whatever they call themselves, the posh pricks. Am I right? I mean, I was just walking by them today morning, and they were saying something about how you guys wish you were them. You're just a poor man's jewel and layer. I mean, you became carpenters because you didn't have the balls to actually study and put in the effort to be a jewel and layer.
Okay. I would like you to make a persona roll. Do you have any competencies you think would add to this? Do you have mischief making as a competency? Because we could add that.
I think I should have that. I don't have that one, but I think I should have had that one, given my tendencies. But I do have local gossip, and
Local
I have
gossip is
deceive.
great. No, let's say add local gossip, because you're basically first trying to ingratiate yourself into them with conversation, and then you're weaving in bits of discord. So go on.
Okay. This is persona or guile?
Persona. Because you're having a full-fledged conversation for a while.
I was wishing I could. Can I add my devil horns, because those add a 1d4 to guile? But
no, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. So that's what, a d20 and a d6?
Yes. Plus your persona.
Okay. That's a 14.
14. Alrighty. So
And
you start
that's
having.
wait.
Okay.
That's a 14 and a 3.
17.
And 2.
All right, 19.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, so you're having this conversation in the background. Meanwhile, back in the tent, Divya has mentioned that this is going to happen, has asked the rest of you if you have any questions. Does anybody have any questions or anything they'd like to clarify?
Yes. What am I doing here? I usually end their lives, not bring hope to rebellions and such.
That is true, my dear. She smiles very widely at you and is like, My dear Pranath, your reputation precedes you. Your family's reputation precedes the whole family, and it is an honor to be working with them. I have personally approached your grandfather to get someone from your family with the skill set of your family to come and join us, and he has kindly sent you. You are our backup option. You're there to ensure everyone stays safe, and if things go wrong, this Forge Master that you're searching, he may I don't know what he's like, and it's possible that he'll be made turn violent, that he may have violent bodyguards. We don't really know the nature of his operation. I just have the information that this is what he's doing to ensure that this conflict continues, and he continues to gain profits out of this continued sale of weapons. I'd even suspect that he's selling weapons to both sides. And that is why you're here, my dear.
And which side are you in?
The side that wants to end the conflict, that wants to stop seeing people come home injured. These faulty weapons that this Forge Master is selling, they're essentially ensuring that nobody actually dies. They stay injured. Weapons don't cut as deep, and not that I'm advocating for them to have died, but it might have been better than to have lived injured or to suffer longer. And because people are suffering longer, because no one is there's no resolution on the horizon, this fight continues, and this person is profiting, and that is what I want to stop.
This myth is a disgrace to the art of war.
It is indeed. Because of your role earlier, Shema, Madame Muggermuch kind of remembers, like just a spark, that this lady, you've heard the name at least associated with a lot of charity and sort of work around Vaanarprastha that is to do with like just general upliftment and all that. She's kind of known for using her family's wealth to just for charity. All right. Any other?
I would at this point leave and look over to Chanda and be like, "Oh ho, Miss Chanda, what friends you have who send you to like violent places with so much discord and all. She really trusts you, no?"
I don't even understand why I'm here. I'm an old Bhalu, and I'm just like, I care about my class, my students, and I don't even understand why I'm here. And I look at Divya, and I basically sort of give her a look, and I say, those days I left behind long time ago, Divya, and you know that. And the war, it took everything from me. It took my family, and I don't want to take this war that is going on, because war never ends anyway. I don't want it to take the last peace of mind that I have.
Mm-hmm. Divya sets down her chai, looks at you gravely, and like extends her hands and takes both your hands in hers, and is like, Divya, I understand, but you're the one. And she leans close, so only you hear her say this, but she's like, as a close friend, you're the only one I trust to see this through. These other people, they're adventurers, but you can at least guide them. I'm not asking that you take part directly, but just guide them. You have the wisdom. And then she leans back.
And when she says this, and I'm gonna look at her like right in the eyes, and I'm gonna say, war never ends for a Bhalu. But are you sure if I help, this war will end? Can you make sure? Can you promise me?
She looks sad, and surprisingly, you see like her eyes well up with tears, though none fall. And she sighs, and like while leaning back, she just sighs heavily and kind of slouches a bit in her chair even. And it's like, I cannot promise that, and you know that. It's impossible. People will be people. They'll do what they want to do. But in doing this, we can at least stop one person from profiting off of the misery of so many. And that's all I want to do.
Yes, Divya, so sorry.
Yeah, I'll kind of I don't say anything, and I just like kind of nod and just like go back to where I was sitting before, kind of pondering on my own thoughts that should I or should I not. Sort of.
Alrighty. Cool.
Yes, Divya, you know a lot of information about this Master Forger, but not a name, even a nickname, something they call them.
No, not really. This is someone who's tried very hard to stay hidden, to stay anonymous. It's taken a lot of my resources just to find out this much. Which is why I'm throwing everything I have into this one effort to catch them before they catch on to the fact that they might have been found out. So in a way, time is of the essence. We have the element of surprise now. I'm, in the grand scheme of things, a nobody. I'm not a general. I'm not a politician. So the chances of this Forge Master knowing that someone is onto them is unlikely, and that's what I'm holding on to. That's the hope I have.
Got it. So, how far is it to get there again?
Oh, yes. So this device, and she again airily waves to the construction that's just wrapping up next to it. This is going to create a portal to where you have to go. It will open it briefly on this side, and you'll have to rush through along with a group of my workers here, and they will construct its sister device on the other side to keep the doorway open. The crystals we have should give you a good 24 hours, hopefully, and find what you can, do what you can in the meantime, and then rush back to the portal so that, well, you're not stuck on the other side, because getting more of these crystals would take at least a few weeks before we could then open another gateway for you to return.
And like, how obvious is this portal? Like, if on the other side, whether like somebody just they're just selling cabbages, and then somebody just comes over there and scares them, and they drop all the cabbages everywhere. Like, are we going to face a problem like that?
Hopefully not. The reason we're opening the portal somewhere here is so that it's not as noticed, and ideally this should on the other side be opening somewhere as inconspicuous. And she's been speaking very soft, right? She suddenly takes a deep breath and just goes, "Pablo!" and just yells out in a completely different voice to what she was talking to you with. And immediately this shorter, squatter Vaanarprastha comes rushing up. He's got all these scrolls that he's been looking at, thick glasses on the end of his nose, and it's like, yes, madam, I'm here. And she's like, "Are we sure this portal will stay open?" And he's like, yes, madam. And he looks to all of you and is like, "Don't worry, it's going to stay open. Have you ever torn fabric? That's what it'll look like. That."
So simple. Nothing to worry about. Just stepping through the fabric of reality. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so if we step through it and there's some problem that comes, and we have to be like, "Oh no, what do we do? Is there some way to reach you?"
Divya nods and is like, "Don't worry about that. Bablu will be with you.
Oh,
And
okay.
she glances at him, and he nods like very quickly. Meanwhile, you guys start hearing a bit of a commotion in the background. There seem to be some raised voices. You're not sure what's happening, but clearly Divya and Bablu both look over, and she dismisses him so that he can go figure out what's happening. So Bablu rushes off.
Pablo, trustworthy. Okay. So we follow Bablu boy, and then we go where? Do we leave him and look?
You
And
follow-
suddenly I'm like, Ajay! Oh my god! Oh my god! Ajay is gone, and I look at the other two. And
Yeah.
listen, I think we might have to go out again. And from outside, we need to see if we can leave quietly, or we'll have to run because I don't know what Ajay has done.
Okay. What could we have done?
That's what I'm afraid of. Okay, like I don't know, like some things just go wrong when he's around. Okay, and I don't know. It's
Could we take him at all?
I mean, it doesn't only go wrong for us; it will go wrong for other people as well. So that's why it's good to have him also. It's unpredictable, keeps the excitement of life alive. But you think I feel a little guilty dragging like Chanda around. It feels like she's ready to go into hibernation. I think
Do not underestimate Miss Lekha here. She, with a bow, can do things that men in their prime can only dream of.
if she's awake for it, yes. But like, I'm a little worried about. You don't think it's a little odd that your friend would come and be like, "Hey, put your life at risk."
You would understand if you know of a legend
Oh,
of what she's capable of.
oh. What is this in-group secrets and all? There's like lore about other characters. Okay.
I would rather not steal the spotlight away from her.
I get it.
Let her.
Campfire stories. I get it. Moment will come. Okay.
So, in the background, the voices are starting to raise. Now, you're hearing two different sets of voices. There's you're hearing the soft, sort of steady intonation of shloks being said. And as you hear the shloks, you kind of just peer back and you see where the crystals have been inset into this device, that they're slowly starting to spark and like get brighter. At a slight distance, with Ajay standing behind them, are a bunch of Vaanarprastha, a dwarf, and a Bhalu, who are just kind of jeering at these three gentlemen who are intoning the shlok. And it seems like they're just making fun of them because they know these guys can't do anything right now, as they're like halfway through an incantation. Meanwhile, Divya has gotten up. You can see that there is just an edge of annoyance to her, and she's like, I think you should prepare yourselves to go through. I'm going to just ensure that this is taken care of. And then she walks off, but she doesn't walk towards them. She walks somewhere else, possibly to just find someone else to take care of it. Meanwhile, you see Bablu rushing over to where you are, Ajay, standing behind this crowd of very angry, group of carpenters and a few construction workers, and they're just like, kind of jeering at this. Like, they're standing in a row, watching these three start up the incantation, and are just like loudly making fun of them, and just each of them, just waiting to get a rise. That's all they're doing. They're trying to get a rise out of these people, and it's just mean shit, and petty stuff. You're standing behind them. You notice by now, your three allies have gotten up from the tent are generally walking towards where everyone else is. There's another group of construction workers who have carried a bunch of like parts of equipment that seem to mimic this whole structure, but in a smaller capacity, and they're just quickly walking it over. And it seems like in a weird way, people are starting to get ready for whatever is supposed to happen, barring this little disruption that is also happening. What does anybody want to do? Anything specific?
I'm probably gonna help them cheer a bit better.
Mm.
Yeah, because
Alright.
I want to see what happens if they are disturbed.
Sure.
If they get a rise out of them, what happens?
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I'll say that you don't need to roll for this. Your last roll was pretty high. So you successfully kind of add into it. You throw your voice a bit so it doesn't sound like you.
I have enough experience with this shit.
Yeah. You make sure that like you kind of drop suggestions for someone else to then use as well, so it's less conspicuous that it's you. This continues, and it's getting. You can see some of the jewelers who have been chanting, like starting to look over, and you can see in like one or two of them, like genuine anger. Another seems to just look concerned and worried, but the anger is definitely there. However, all of this is like overshadowed by like these crystals slowly starting to get brighter and brighter, and even though it's like midday, their brightness starts to kind of overshadow the sun, and you start to see double shadows from the sun as well as from these crystals. And just like that, all of you hear this sudden tearing sound, as if this large piece of cloth was just torn violently, and you feel a rush of wind blow across the clearing, and off at a distance, offset from where these crystals are, about 5-6 meters away, you see, almost as if inexplicably, what you would see normally has suddenly just torn apart. And it's like a flap has been opened, and you can see through it to another sort of forest, but this is more like vibrant. It looks a lot more dense, and it looks just a bit different as well. Like the leaves are not the same shape as everything around you. And immediately you hear Bablu's voice from somewhere off. He's rushing forward. He's like, okay, it's open. We have to go, go, go. And he just runs straight through. And immediately all the construction crew that were holding a bunch of this equipment just picks it up and runs through as well. What are you, the four of you doing?
Jumping in.
You see, basically, when the commotion was happening and everyone was talking about it, Madam Magarmach was talking about Ajay. You see, Chanda kind of left, and then because she was wearing this khadi sari and she had her jola and all, it's not very feasible for a mission like this. And while the tier opens up, you see everyone is running inside, and in the end, you see a bhalu in a armor and a bow and arrow walking in, rushing inside. She is now wearing an armor, and it's been very long since she wore this armor, and like she's feeling a little uncomfortable right now. But she's just sort of getting used to it for now.
Nice. So you rush in. What about the rest of you?
I've cut through people's skins, their flesh, their bones. Once I cut someone's stomach after I poisoned them but I've never torn through reality.
Oh, your mic is on and off.
Okay, but I've never torn reality before. Maybe find a new hobby. And yeah, walking.
Alrighty.
There's a lot of Vaanar going in as well, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch
a lot of
the,
workers.
Yeah.
How many are there?
About 6 of them.
Okay, I'm gonna wait
There's
till
like 3 sets of equipment.
yeah. I'm gonna wait till one of the set is right near the edge, and then I'm gonna run and I'm gonna jump and then hop over their heads and
Okay.
front flip into the rift.
Alrighty. You push past everyone that you were standing behind, rush forward, jump off of these guys, and then land inside. And as soon as you land inside, you feel this like temperature difference as well. It's much cooler in here as it was out in Rayanagri. And finally, Madam Magarmach, how and when are you going through this tear in the fabric of reality?
Could I have, while walking there and looking for Ajay, basically eavesdrop on what workers might have been saying?
Oh yeah. You get the gist that they're basically making fun of these people for chanting and being like, yeah, sure, that's a skill, memorize something. Can't do anything with their hands, stuff like that. They're basically salty about the fact that they have done a bunch of the hard work for all this construction, but these people get paid more and have more of the prestige.
Got it.
Added in are a few insults that you might have heard from a certain someone you travel with.
Yeah.
Done. I follow in as well, and just before leaving, I'm just gonna look around to see whether anyone's reacting suspiciously to this, like giving that he smile or something like that,
Sure. I'd like you to roll persona, please. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, that was horrible. That's a 5 total.
Oh no. You look back and you definitely see that more than like anyone scheming, it seems like everyone's a little more preoccupied. What should have been this big occasion, where everyone was like, "Oh my God, we're doing this," is now more of a, these chanters trying to keep their concentration, but getting more and more worked up. The construction crew focused on pissing these 3 off, and as you step through and go through the tear, you look back and you do see rushing in behind you from a distance is Bablu holding like one final scroll. He's dropped a bunch of the others, and behind him is Divya Mathur, who is like, you can't read the expression from this distance, but it seems pensive almost.
Okay.
And yeah, Bablu rushes through, and as he rushes through, you look back and you see that the construction crew that had come in, they're already assembling the parts. And while they're assembling it, you see that the tear that you all have come through is slowly weaving itself back together. You can almost see it as if this like magical stitch work is being applied to it and is slowly closing. And halfway through it, the construction finishes quickly. Bablu sits down in front of it, crosses his leg, takes a deep breath and starts chanting, and you realize he's doing the same chant at the same point, at the same intonation and same cadence as the group outside. And that stitching and that would have closed this tear has stopped, and you guys have seemed to have made your way to another plane of existence and have some amount of time before this thing closes.
Got it. And the chanting, is it in a language that we recognize?
Yeah. It's an old language. Generally now mostly reserved for shloks, and to perhaps the oldest of dwarves still remember it, and maybe some of the Hutt still speak it. But it's almost a dead language.
Got it.
I would like to go to Pablo and give him a couple of motichur laddus.
Okay.
Be like,
Uh,
you will need this.
all right. How many
Stay
precisely?
healthy. 2.
2. Okay.
Stay
Mark those out.
healthy. Stay alive. Keep chanting.
He accepts them, and just keeps them like next to him, and he just nods and continues to his chanting. But you see that he's kind of relieved that someone's thought of him a little bit. And yeah, the 4 of you are in here. You have your mission. What would you like to do?
What do we see around us?
Around you is a lush forest, almost a jungle, but not exactly that overgrown yet. There's some space between the trees, but even the trees, everything feels a little exaggerated. The leaves are a bit too large. The bark has like thicker ridges in it that kind of yells, "Look at me, I am bark." The roots that come out from the center of the trees, they don't just go straight into the ground, but spread out a bit and intermingle with their neighbors before setting back down, creating a lot of uneven ground. In fact, the sun that is shining through parts of this canopy above you is very sporadic, but has this odd orange tint to it, which initially you guys notice, but as you're spending time here, it's actually when you look through the tear, you're like, wait, that looks more yellow, and this looks normal, as your eyes adjust. And finally, there's this almost cloyingly pleasant smell. Initially, that first breath, you're just like, oh, that's so refreshing. And with time, like even 30, 40 seconds in, you're just like, that's a lot of sweetness. But yeah, that's what you see. It's forest and jungle all around. The best you can tell is that you probably should just head further in or look for clues as to where you should go. But you do know that this portal should have opened somewhere near where you were supposed to be moving towards.
Can I use my doorbin?
Yes, please.
And I'm gonna use my wait a second. Yeah, my so I have proficiency in detect clues, and I would like to use that with the help of my doorbin. So
Okay.
what do I roll?
Before you roll, I will say that to use the doorbin, you'll have to at least climb to a slightly higher vantage point, given
Okay.
how many trees are around you.
Mhm.
You won't see through the
Okay.
trees all that much.
So do I see some sort of elevation of stones, or if not, then I'll try to climb a tree.
It's pretty much all tree.
Okay, then I'll try to climb.
If I see Chandra trying to climb a tree, can I help?
Mhm. Sure. Do you want to? How do you want to help?
I'm just gonna give a boost, or in fact, or I could climb and try to heft her up.
Okay. I would. In that case, Chanda, I'd like you to first roll for stamina.
Okay.
Do you have athletics by any chance as a competency?
No. My stamina is 0. My
That's
strength is good, but yeah.
Yeah, and because Ajay is helping you, you get
Mhm.
you get a 1d4 advantage to your to you trying to climb.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll it.
D20 plus 1d4.
Yeah.
I don't have a roll.
I'm just adding the
So
fact that you're
I
helping to
rolled
her.
Although my athletics is 3.
Okay, in
I
that
rolled a
case,
15 plus 2.
all right. That's good enough. Otherwise, I was gonna increase your advantage die. No, that's good enough. It takes a bit. There's a little bit of a struggle. To find like the lowest branch that you can latch onto. But once you get to the lowest branch, you pull yourself up, and then it's fairly easy. The branches are thick and they're many. These trees, like I said earlier, it's almost this exaggerated sense of what a tree is. So there's more branches than you would normally expect, and their thickness is massive. And so you can almost climb your way, step your way up. And you get to a point where you're just past the canopy, you have a decent view, and now you may use your durbin, you may add your detect clues. So for that, would you please roll guile, add your d20 plus guile plus your detect clues bonus.
Okay, my guile is -1.
Ah.
So a D20 plus detect clues, it gives me a D6 or a D4. D6, okay.
So it's is it proficient or is it skilled?
It's a proficiency, not skill.
Okay.
Oh wow, I rolled a 17 plus 3, so -1, which means
19.
19, yeah. Maths, oh my god.
That's great. You get up onto this tree and you adjust the durbin and you start looking around slowly. You have a keen eye in general, as someone whose main vocation during the wars that she fought in was being an archer. You look for telltale signs for whatever. And you do see it. Off to the northeast, you see some sort of structure just barely poking out through the trees. And it seems to be made of stone. The top of it has like a dome-like shape, almost like a temple, but could be a minaret as well. You're not sure. And as you're looking and just confirming and just trying to gauge the distance and what could be in the way, you make out or you see a sudden puff of black smoke come out of this structure and just kind of lazily flit off into the distance.
After looking...
Right?
Hmm?
I'm still on the tree, right? I was helping.
Yeah, you helped her get to the first lower branch. Do you want to try and scramble up after her?
Yeah, I'm gonna scramble up after her and ask, and just tap her on the rump and ask her, what can she see?
Okay, well, I'll say because of your heritage and all, you won't even have to roll for that.
So I'm gonna just pass him the durbin and I'm gonna say, seems like there is someone is creating some weapons in that place. That smoke that is rising, the black smoke, seems like some sort of forgery is there. I mean, we are looking for a forge, so I'm just assuming right now.
Are we looking for a forge? I have no idea. I was listening.
We are looking for a guy who forged weapons, not very good ones.
To kill him because the weapons aren't good? I mean, that's a reason to kill someone.
I mean, I'm not very keen on that, but if it's what you want, I won't stop you.
Okay, cool. I knew I liked you. I say as I jump down.
Yeah, you jump down with my durbin.
Yeah. You gave it to me, didn't you?
Just to look at that place.
Right, so Ajay's kind of started scampering back down, almost Vanar-like in his mannerisms as he moves through the tree. Chanda, do you want to yell out to get your Durbin back? Are you following back down?
I basically am an old Bhalu. I look at these kind of shenanigans and I sigh. And I just slowly climb down on my speed, like being very vigilant that I don't fall down because it's been a very long time since I did something like this.
Fair enough. Cool. You slowly work your way down. In the meantime, Branath and Madam Muggamush, what were you two doing?
Madam Makamach will be just like complaining to Rana and just being like, oh, I hope we can make enough money out of this, that we can like hire people to just do all this and just get paid. And I don't know, I heard from somebody that if you like contract and all that properly, then you can get paid a lot without having to do any work.
Who are you talking to?
To you.
Okay. Okay.
Where is the fun in that? Fun in doing these things is doing them.
See, even back pain isn't fun, okay, but it shows you did a lot of hard work. So I don't know about all this. Sometimes I think, just you put your feet up and things happen. I agree with Chanda, okay. She has a point, sometimes you just want to sit and tell people things, tell them that, they think they're learning. You just have a chance to talk. And I miss school.
Well, why are you here? You seem to miss school a lot. Why aren't you still a teacher?
The problem is one of my students ran away. And the thing is that boy, okay, that rascal, he came in front of us also in those underground caves. But then Ajay and I, we weren't quick enough, We could do the full nice quick draw. We could have got him quickly, but he just laughed and ran on. I'll never forget his laugh. See who's laughing next time. But anyway, the thing is I can't go back to school until I find him. So maybe he's here. He seems like some fellow who will do all this thing and all. Rip space and all. Oh, physics means nothing.
Well, you could always find another school. There are plenty.
So you remember that contract I was telling you about? Problem is I made I was desperate for money and I made some bad decisions in life. And now I need to, deliver on that.
Yeah, I think you're better off not being a teacher.
Yeah, professor life looks nice, but then your friends put you in danger and tell you to go and save things for you and all.
If you, however, want to change your course, may I introduce you to our Lord and Savior, Pataksha.
Pataksha? Oh.
All you have to do is put the thing you love the most in a pond, and you will be granted heaven after you die.
Really?
Am I near these guys when this is happening?
You come down just as he says Pataksha.
Yeah, I am enraged. That is blasphemy for a Vanar like me.
Don't mention the B
Aditya,
word.
What B word?
Pataksha.
That's a B word.
Pataksha. Oh, I forgot. This is about being away from school.
Or you're a teacher.
I didn't say I was language teacher, okay?
Yeah. Like as Ajay had scampered down, he was, let's say, he was balancing the doorbin on his forehead, and suddenly he hears Pataksha.
Mhm.
The doorbin falls down, and he,
Oh no.
yeah, he's looking around, and then he looks at Madam Magarmach and says, "Did you say something?"
No, I didn't. I said
thought
it's
I
beautiful weather today.
Actually, I just want you to roll a d20, and if it is above 10, the Durbin's okay.
Oh my god. Why are the props doing us harm?
No, he dropped it. He said he dropped it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was an 11.
It falls, but nothing cracks.
Okay.
That was close.
Yeah. I leave it because right now I'm looking at I'm looking around to see who said that wild word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one Platikra here.
What
Yeah.
do you have against Pataksha?
I take out my axe.
Oh my
I
god.
take out my daggers.
That is blasphemy. Oh wait, who? It's the old lady, right?
It's
For us, for Vaanars.
For
I
yes,
forgot.
it's Raya.
Yeah.
You guys generally look up to Raya, not as a not as a godlike figure, but as an ideal to strive for.
Yeah. As the ultimate trickster.
Yes, she's like the ultimate Vanar, like the Vaanarist of Vanar.
Yeah, I take out my axe and say, I only follow Raya. There is no Pataksha. And if he is, he's a fucking loser anyway. Sitting in his pond.
okay.
You
You can
can
follow
flow.
that person.
Yeah, I will. I say, putting back my axe.
Putting the daggers back.
Okay, Pranath, I would actually like for you to make a d20 roll with both abstraction and empathy added in.
Oh, okay. So that's a +2. That's a nat 1.
Oh my god. Good rolls this session.
But still, I mean, you can
So
get a
yeah,
high roll.
it's kind of hit you late, but this mention of Pataksha just made you realize that having stepped through a portal like this into another world, it's almost a bit of a religious experience, because that is what Pataksha does. He takes you from one world to another, and in a way you've just done that. You've traveled between worlds the way Pataksha would. Of course, he does it without all the gadgetry, because he's the all-powerful Pataksha, but it's close enough, and you kind of feel good about that.
Well, I have a feeling I'll find my most beautiful kill that I'm going to give to Pataksha in this plane.
Yeah, he probably needs gifts. Crying all the time.
He loves
And-
gifts. Everyone loves gifts. Who are you lying to?
And everybody loves gifts, but they love it even more when they're crying, like he is in his pond.
Oh my
You don't know that pond is already wet.
At this point, Chanda has made her way back down as well. And yeah, the four of you are together. Chanda, you know which way you should be heading.
Oh yeah, I make sure to grab the doorbin that was graciously gifted to me.
You get down just as you see Ajay picking the Durbin up from the ground and then like putting it like into his pocket.
You see that I'm like I'm very like I'm thinking, should I ask for it? Like it's mine. I'm like having a mental gymnastic on my own brain. It's mine. I should just go and ask. Like, but what if he say no? I don't need to be scared of him. I've done this before. I've asked for things before, and I just like go very gingerly, and I'm like, Ajay, can I get my Durbin back, please?
You want it back? I say, making a puppy face. Okay.
I give to you to just look, and I thought you'll give it back to me, but it's fine. You can keep it. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Ajay,
I say,
Ajay,
moving.
is that yours,
Yes.
Ajay?
No.
Who does it belong to?
I
Give
say,
it back.
yeah, I hand it to her sulkily, and then my tail is completely down. I go and stand behind Madam Magarmach, whisper under my breath.
And you see Chanda looks quite happy getting her Durbin back, but she says, "Oh, it's fine. If I look for something again, I'll just you can look with me again, but give my Durbin back every time I give it to you to look for something, okay?"
Okay, sure. I say instantly back to happy. I scamper back towards the random direction that Chanda had pointed.
Mhm. I'm gonna just say like you guys start setting off in the direction you have to, and while you do see this group. Bablu has not finished the chanting. He's continued at the same steady clip. The other construction workers who had been around have just kind of sat around him, and the wow, my words today. The object that they constructed on this side, and they're just kind of just waiting, chilling. They're watching you guys, like kya ho raha hai bhai? They were kind of expecting a little bit more, but so now they're just kind of like looking at you, really confused. But you do take off in the direction that vaguely heads towards where Chanda had seen this temple. Pretty soon after walking in that direction, you've left Bablu behind. You're walking over these large roots. There are occasional bits of like even ground, but they're sporadic. And the sun, it just constantly has this feel of like being a little bit more orange in hue. You don't see too much wildlife. Occasionally in the distance, you see shapes running away, but you don't really see what they were. At best, maybe like a deer type thing. You can hear birds up in the trees. You hear insects moving about, but as you're walking through, it does seem like the wildlife just kind of slowly, moves away from where all of you are. It doesn't take long before you start to see the very first evidence of occupation here. All of a sudden you come across a tree that has been felled. You just see the tree stump, and you see that it's been sawn through. It's very obviously been cut maybe a while back. And further away, you see a few more tree stumps as well, and the forest does start to thin. You start to kind of be a little bit more wary, move about, and try and stay hidden. And in time, you do make out just the barest hints of this structure, but you also see a bit more of like a rough-hewn road from where all these tree stumps are, and towards this structure. Closer to the structure, it's a better road, but as it goes into the forest, it's rougher, it's more overgrown. And closer to the structure, more trees have been cut down. You see in the distance a sort of cart of some kind with like this the large remnants of a tree still on it. You see a few people kind of milling about. You hear the rhythmic thud of someone chopping wood, but you don't quite make out if it's coming from somewhere in the cart or somewhere else. But clearly there are people up ahead. What would you guys like to do at this point?
Like a true assassin, I will like to hide before moving forward.
Alright. You find like a easy spot where you the most obvious line of sight from the structure to where you are is obscured, and you just very nonchalantly just kind of move about everybody and just go stand there.
I'm just gonna go towards them and hail.
Oh, just like call them out?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
that's
just
what
gonna,
we were doing, right?
I'm just going to quickly tell Ajay, don't let them know we're here to stop them. Maybe we'll make them think that we're doing business with them.
Okay, so pretend we're friends.
Yeah, say we've come shopping for new weapons. We're in the area. We've
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
about how excellent
I
it
know.
is.
I know weapons.
Go.
I say, yeah. I'll confidently march up towards them. Yeah, and look towards one of them. You. What's going on?
Okay. Okay. That changes things a bit. You're gonna have to walk a bit of a distance to get to them. You guys were, we'll
I'm
say,
gonna fast walk. Yeah.
yeah.
I have goat hooves.
Yeah. You definitely pick up the pace and you get there quickly. Just before you do, and you ask them what's up. Chandan, is there anything that you want to do?
I'm gonna stay quite far behind, like keep my distance, but also keep them, like if I will start shooting someone, they'll be in my range. So it means I'm very far behind enough that the other party members are not able to kind of know where I am. I'm just hiding behind a tree or just like being very stealthy right now.
So what I'll just say is that Pran, Chanda, and Madam Magarmach are very stealthily and maybe at a slightly circuitous route making their way closer, while Ajay takes the direct path along the road. Ajay, it takes you a few minutes to cover the distance. It was quite far from where you were. You get there, and as you near, you do see that it wasn't actually a cart, but it seems to be some sort of device that has been constructed to hold this tree in position while these various people around it, who look predominantly human, are just hacking away and cutting out chunks of it. They don't seem to have like an exact method. It's very slapdash. Like you at least know that if you're chopping wood, you cut down slices and all that. These guys are literally just hacking at it and taking out whatever little wedges that they can at whatever angle they can. They clearly don't know what they're doing. They're just doing busy work. They also look fairly young, almost on that tail end of teenage. And they're wearing really good armor, like pristine armor, in fact. And as you hail them, they both startle, and they look at you and they're shocked, and they're just like, who are you?
Customer?
They both look at each other. When you say customer, I'd like you to make a guile roll with deception, please.
Okay, yeah. Deceive and my devil horns can
Devil
come
horns?
into it. Okay.
Yes, they do.
Okay. The roll was pretty good, 18.
Mm-hmm.
And a d6, which is 5.
Mm-hmm.
Please count for me. My guile is 2, and my devil horns give me 3. So 18 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2.
Amazing.
All right, we'll take it. I'll say it's a lot.
Yes.
It's 28 total.
Thank you. Both these teens just like look at each other. A customer. Are you lost? The entrance is on the other side, and as one of them says that, you hear the voice crack a little bit as well. As like, yes, sir. If you just walk around this side, there's a small path that we've made. Just follow the path.
Walk even more now.
I don't know. You should have come from that side. I like he looks to the other one, who's just been kind of like just leaning behind the log a little bit to kind of be out of the way, and this guy just like, oh goddamn. Look, I can take you there. Would you like me to take you there?
Oh, and I'll point at him with my spectral hand, which like slightly close. I can sort of command it. I haven't gotten like full control over it. And hopefully, because I have a very high roll, it like pulses violently. Says,
It does.
uh,
He looks at that, and initially he's like, there's this look of like fright, but it quickly turns to recognition and then awe, and he's like, "Oh, yeah." And he starts walking away. Are you going with him?
yeah. I say sure, but I'd like my entourage to join me as well. I'd like better quality weapons for them.
He's like,
And-
"Oh yeah."
Yeah, and I'll just call out to probably not Madam Magarmach, because someone like me shouldn't call my teacher. So I'll call Pran to come out and bring the others.
Pran steps out from behind this person. He has snuck through the forest and the wooden stumps and all of that, and like made his way behind them. And it's just like,
Maybe from behind the one who was hiding.
yeah. I'm hiding behind the person who was hiding.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's amazing.
You take the long way around the tree. While you do so, I will say that you notice that there is a small path along the side, and from what you can make out, this structure it's a stone structure, and it looks pretty ancient. So, whatever it is, and whoever built it a long time ago. It shows evidence of being overgrown and then refurbished. So you see some vines on it. You see places where some of the vines and some of the trees that may have been growing inside it have been cut. You see that, at least from this side, there's one doorway that leads inside, but you heard the bit where they said that this is not the main entrance. And as you make your way around, you see that this second teen who's hiding behind the thing is skinnier. And as you kind of, he calls out and you step out, this guy freaks. He's just like, and then like jumps away from you. And it just stares down in shock. Chanda and Madam Magamach, are you staying hidden or are you coming out?
Madam Magamach is gonna walk out like as if she was, one of those prissy rich people that are just going like, oh yeah, that looks good. Maybe if we buy it, we can upgrade it to that. And she's just like talking to herself, like as a scouting and looking at this. It's like, oh Ajay, is this the place of that famous forge master?
I look at the guy who was guiding me, as if I don't even want to answer, and quirk an eyebrow.
He sees that. He's like, oh yeah, yes, madam. Yes, Sergi. This is Sergi's forge. He will make the best of armor and weapons for anybody with like all the enchantments, all everything. It's amazing. And Chanda, are you coming out, or are you staying hidden?
I say, how does the building look? Is there a vantage point through which like I can look? Because you said the building is old. And is there any place where I can have a look inside the building, like any big window or any open space?
It's a stone structure, right? And from where you're standing, you see some windows that have been built into it, but they're not terribly large. So as far as vantage points go, you're not sure if there's any that if you were in the building for sure, you'd be confined to whatever room. But from out, you get the sense that the best place to be is outside, so that you get you have sight lines for what's moving around.
Okay, so
The other option for you is to go above or onto the building, but you don't know if there's any vantage points from up there yet because you can't see.
I sort of kind of question the situation. Most of my life I've fought with soldiers, and we have a very different and organized way to approach something like this. And right now I'm confused. I don't know how to go by the Bhalu law. I am The whole time I'm like, this is not how you do it. This is not how you do it. This is not how you do it. And eventually I decide to just join them because I'm just like scared that if I stay outside, they might do something inside, and I won't be able to help. So I'm just
Okay.
like gonna join them.
Okay, so all of you get together, and this teen starts leading you. The second teen kind of hangs back and just kind of walks towards the tail end of the group, but very happily abandons actually their job. While he's leading you around the edges of this structure, the teen is just kind of babbling on and just telling you that Ajay, he's completely taken by you. He's like, I can't wait till I can get a hand like that. That's what I was told, is that if I if I prove myself, I'll get a hand like that. And so that's what I can't wait for. And this, when he's saying these, you start to look at him and you realize that yes, he is human, but there's some very subtle marks that show that might be a Daitya, and almost worryingly, is he being converted into a Daitya? At least you don't know whether he, because you've seen Daitya who pass for human, right?
Yeah.
But you do know that there is a certain amount of corruption that can create a new breed or line of Daitya. More often than not, it's just genetic.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask him. This is the Forge Master promised you all of this.
He's like, yeah. He said he knows how to do these things. And if we just do our jobs, we help out here. We're apprentices. That's what we are. We haven't worked our way up to actual forging, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is out of combat, but I do have Pulp Nugget, which gives this weird demonic laugh to me, which makes people fear or be staggered if they're not feared. Yeah, I'm gonna use that feature to give a demonic laugh and say,
Okay.
I really believe that, and my eyes are completely red.
Okay. You see him like stumble and falter a little as you do that, and he continues to stare at you. You look back, and I'll say actually it is the rest of you who notice the second teen. He trembles, and you see that he looks very unsure about this whole thing. The teen that's next to you, however, Ajay, it's like almost he's more excited about the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, he's the sacrificial lamb, I guess. Yeah. Okay. As Ajay, I mean, I don't like the idea of like artificial corruption. I think the corruption should come from within. You should, yeah. The chaos and mayhem should come from the heart. Yeah. So yeah, I'll put like a ghostly hand on him, and I'll put it a little too hard so that it does do the piercing damage that it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's your DSM?
3.
3.
Strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll do 3 damage too.
Yeah. He's not down, right?
No.
Should be fine. Yeah. I'll look at him in the eyes and say, and I am the righteous hand of God, so I'm not gonna stop you, kid.
Alright. He's like, okay. He just looks more encouraged than anything else. You guys continue your way around this structure. At this point, could everybody make a quick wit roll? And if you have either detect clues or history, add those.
Hey, yeah.
I don't have intuition. Would that give me anything?
I'll allow it, yeah. You can add intuition.
Oh, that's a nat 20 now.
Nice.
While we were walking before that, could I speak to the one that was scared? And
Could you just first give me the roll totals?
oh yeah,
So that
11 from Madam.
Can I also add my intuition then? Because I am skilled in intuition.
Oh
So,
yeah, if you have
2
it
days.
too.
How good is a
And
one? Pretty good, right?
It's not great. I'll be honest.
So I rolled a 12, and then 2d6 I rolled 3, and then I have a 1 in wit. So 12,
Okay.
14, 15, 16.
Okay. Alrighty. So first off, as far as intuition goes, one of you has a necklace to the god Adupushetra.
Yeah, I have that.
It's you, right? It's good that you rolled high on this. As you're walking around this structure, the general shape of it reminds you of the god, and so the god himself is, well, it's more of a itself because it never presents as a person. What it presents as is a large temple, a magnificent temple, and when you look through the main doorways, at the far end you see where generally there'd be a murat of, or an idol of a god. There's in fact a massive anvil, and this is a forge god, the creator god. And the lore or the history of this god goes is that when you die and you pray to him, if you are the most devout or of his followers, you are granted the ability to be one of the eternal priests that handles this forge temple. And if you are someone who's alive and is in desperate need of his assistance, he presents himself as this massive forge temple where the most ardent of his followers are allowed to go in and forge weapons that are like just defy nature. The perfect weapon for the time, the perfect item for what they need to achieve what they're trying to do, for what they've done so much penance for. And as you walking around this structure, like it doesn't look as grand, but it definitely has the general layout that you've seen from so much scripture, from so many images. You're like, this is it seems to be quite or exactly similar. The rest of you, I think Ajay, you would notice this, and you hear, yeah, even with your one,
Wow.
you notice that on the sides of this temple, people have been started kind of scratching little inscriptions on it. You see one of them that you read quickly as you're passing. It says Tanvir loves Rupa, and you're just like, okay. Madam Magarmach,
I can't actually read letters, so
okay, then you don't know what the names are, but you can make out name, heart, name. And Madam Magarmach and Chanda, you both hear voices from just around, like you've walked from the back around one corner and you're about to round another corner. You can hear voices from up ahead.
What do the voices seem to be saying?
Just general conversation. Nothing important at this time. It the best you can make out. Seems like you've come or arrived at this place at a time when there's nothing happening.
Got it. I'm gonna ask like Chanda, Miss Chanda. So I know that you used to be like a seasoned warrior at some point. How do you usually go about missions like this, where you're pretending to be someone else, you're trying to infiltrate?
That is the thing. I never had to do missions like this. I was a I was a soldier and I fought in wars. And I was just, most of my assignments used to be just go and fight the war, fight the people that are coming from the other side, and I just had to shoot them between the eyes and help my comrades. This is what I did. I don't know infiltration. I don't know what am I doing here. I don't know why my friend chose me, but yeah, I'm here. And while I'm talking, I'm also sort of listening in to what the other people are talking there, and can I gauge that how many people are there with the voices that are going on there?
You can, you get a sense that there's at the least 2 people talking.
Okay.
However, as you guys are talking, suddenly the other teen who was walking behind you.
Wait, wasn't Madam Magarmach talking to the kid while I was menacing the first one?
Yeah.
Um,
So the other one who was nearby you guys, suddenly like pushes past you and runs past the whole group and starts to like go around the corner.
as he's running past, can I catch him? Stop him?
I'd like you to make a finesse roll if you're trying to catch him as he goes past.
I would like to stagger him with my opportunity attack.
Oh, okay. Please make a roll for that attack, and you make a general check to see if you can catch him.
Sure. I mean, Pranath was behind me, so he'll have first try anyway.
Okay, Pranath, go.
That's 11 plus I add my highest stat. That's it.
Yeah, your DSM.
So 15 total.
15 total. You immediately you see the this flash of movement from the corner of your eye, and like muscle memory kicks in, and you quickly like take the butt of your knife and just slam it into this kid's side. At your height differential, it'll probably be close to his upper thigh, hip.
I would say I'm gonna so I have this poison barb foot, and just jump spin kick on his liver directly.
Jesus.
Yeah, and scratch over there on his
He's
the side
a
of his abdomen.
child. Oh my
Start to run
god.
away.
Okay. Two things, just so you know, for combat, those are 2 reactions. You only
Okay.
have 1. We're out of combat, so it's fine. So you stabbed him. He stumbles. Ajay, could you just make your roll?
15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'll say is, as he's stumbling forward, Ajay, you catch him, right, to pull him back. And as you pull him back, that's where Pranath suddenly like jumps up, and like his barbs from the back
Can
of
I
his
try to
feet.
stop him, because I don't want him to kill him yet before I know.
It's
damage him.
happening. It's happening too fast.
Uh,
He spins, and the barbs slash through like the gap in his armor and his pants, where there's cloth, and you see like these thin cuts, and then just a tiny tickle of blood from a scratch that he has underneath. The kid like gasps in surprise as all of this happens, and he just looks down. He's like, what? And he's breathing heavily. He's almost hyperventilating at this point. Yes, now,
Yeah.
Madam Magamach, you can say or react to this.
Oh my god. I think because he's hyperventilating, I'm gonna try to calm him. So I'm gonna. Can I do non-damage spells? Like, say I don't.
heal him?
I can't heal him, but
It's not damaged.
can I
Oh,
do?
he's
Staggered.
Can I do a spell but not apply the damage to it?
Yeah, you can choose to do that.
I'm just going to go near him and cast Sweet Dreams.
Mm.
So I'm just going to
Okay.
be like, it's okay, chill. You just scared all of us, you know. You shouldn't just suddenly run when people have come to visit.
Is
The
this
person-
versus your tenacity or versus your willpower?
It's versus my tenacity, so that's a 10.
Okay, hold on. I'll roll for that.
So wit versus tenacity.
It's his wit, okay. He rolled exactly a 9. Okay. He's like, you see that he's struggling against the effects of this sleep spell, and he tries to like yell out. He's like, intruders, and then he just falls asleep. And Ajay, the other kid next to you, has stepped away. He's looking at this whole tableau of things that have just happened, and is starting to back away from all of you towards the forest.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him, who the hell are the intruders? Was he talking about us?
Are you
I say-
threatening him, or are you like trying to be like, actually, oh, who was he?
I mean, take your pick. I don't really care if I threaten him.
No, like the tone will, like, you know, that's why I'm curious. Like, what sort of tone are you taking there?
Let's say I'm intimidating him.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
Like a folk tongue that a folk tongue darts out, and I lick my lips and give him a crazy smile.
Okay. I want you to roll stamina on this, and add. Do you have intimidation?
2 levels.
Go for it.
Okay. Stamina is.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I think this app is great. 18 plus 1 for stamina and 2d6 for intimidate.
Yes.
So 3 plus 3, 6.
Fantastic.
19 plus 6.
Yeah.
Is something.
25. Yeah. The kid just raises his hands like, okay, I'm just gonna go. Leave me alone. I don't want to get into trouble with you or anyone else. I'm just gonna go back and chop wood and pretend this never happened. Okay? Just let me go. Let my friend go. Leave him alone too, please.
Who are the intruders? Was it
No one.
us?
There are no intruders here. I don't know.
Oh. And I already have him in my hand. I'll throw him like a sack of potatoes at him.
Okay. He goes flying, stumbles down, gets up, and then like very quickly scampers off back to where the log is. Meanwhile, this other teen is now sleeping peacefully on the ground. Chanda, Pranath, do you guys want to do anything?
So, it doesn't matter who we pretend to be. I think it's better we're not seen at all.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I'm not very good at that.
Maybe you can be the distraction then.
I'm good at that.
I mean, I think first we should go and check what the commotion is. I don't know whether the problem is without one of these kids here to tell us, we wouldn't know who the Forge Master.
Well, I might know what the place is. It
Also,
is.
what was your student's name? That pesky guy whose ankles I chopped off.
What was
What?
his name? GM? Like Bludgeon Master? I can't remember. I keep thinking it's Money, but Money is the name of our handler.
No, Money was the
The ultimate,
Rakshas.
yeah, baggy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Hold on, give me a second. His name was.
Let's say Sunil. Why not?
I can't remember. Was it Anil?
No, it was Karan.
Karan. Okay. Yeah.
There
What's
was.
Anil?
There was no one in.
I don't know why I felt that was it. But yeah, Karan. His name was
Maybe-
Karan. Kalla Karan. That's what his name
Yeah.
was.
I mean, these guys are transforming into artificial deaths. They're changing their appearance, and he was someone who quite drastically changed his appearance. Do you think this Forge Master is that weird kid with the weird eyes
I
and
don't
face.
know. I don't know if he ran away and came here and the same thing happened to him, because even these two boys look very young, no?
Yeah. Old enough to be a student.
Yeah, very suspicious.
Well,
What do we leave this boy here, or do we just go? I mean, he's not
Do we kill him?
sleepy. I mean, he's sleepy, but he's not sleeping.
So you think we should kill him?
No killing, Ajay. We'll find some way. If you want, you scare him and tell him go back to school. That is a better thing.
I can poison him and he'll go to sleep eternally.
No. We send him
I mean,
back to school. Chanda, you
already
agree
poisoned-
with me, no? Education is important, no?
You see Chanda listening to all this killing and all, and like teens are getting killed and all. She's like, no one is getting killed, okay? We're just gonna tie them up and then hide them somewhere in the forest for a while. And when we go back, we then untie them.
Yeah, and send them back to school. I agree.
So
We'll.
much it's just one slash. Problem solved.
Actually, can I check this kid's pockets? Does he have anything? Like, even if it is like a note with his biggest wish in the world.
Oh, so no
Nothing.
to killing, but okay to thievery. Weird
Listen,
standards.
I will leave whatever I find on, but at least let's take some hint as to what's happening here.
I mean,
Um,
we might find some keys. Who knows? Some
You think a teenager has keys in his pocket? You guys say you are teachers, okay? A teenage boy has. What else does he has? Does he have deodorant in his pockets? Sure.
A wallet.
we are not stealing because we are thieves. We are stealing for the mission, and I'll make sure when I untie them, I'm gonna put the keys back in the pocket, and all the important things that we find, I'll give them back.
I don't think we'll need anything from them. We just need to find one of the head priests.
And the Forge Master.
The priest will lead us to the Forge Master. You see, this place is not just a place, it is the essence of Adupu Keshataram,
Okay.
or however the fuck you pronounce that.
What is that?
It is a deity. I got this necklace
Oh.
from some random guy doing a magic show on the road for 10 rupees. I didn't think it was real, but it is resonating with this place. This is the magical temple that lets people.
I
What?
feel like a
This
change.
temple is a god.
Yeah, this temple itself, this whole space is in essence of this god. From what I've read, what I've heard, and it basically grants people a sanctuary, a space to create whatever weapons they desire.
Pretty shitty god if they're making those kinds of weapons.
Well, I think it's the person's fault who's making them.
I think it's the gods.
But if the temple is a person, that means that
We can kill the temple.
no, that means that the walls have ears.
Well, if the walls did have ears, a god would never allow such a thing. But I don't think this god is of the all-powerful variety.
Okay, so it just exists. Sanctuary.
Does anybody have any religion-based competencies?
I have great recall. That's the most I have.
Okay.
Don't have competency, but pretty devout follower of Raya.
So anything Raya-based, I'd give you advantage. But yeah, this is something else entirely. Never mind. The other teen has run away. This one is sleeping. Their voice is just around the corner.
You know what? I'll grab this kid and throw him into some big bushes.
Sure, you
Head
grab him.
first. Head first.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he gets a concussion and
Oh
forgets
my
everything.
god.
You you bodily pick up this guy, walk a bit of a distance, and then just chuck him into the forest where he'll be obscured by a bunch of roots and all that. When you turn, you can see a little bit of the courtyard up ahead, and in this courtyard, it's another area that has been cleared out at the front of this large structure. And over here, you see that there are a ton of crates that are filled with, well, what you're going to assume are mass-produced weapons. There are a few carts, and just a little bit at a distance, you see a device not exactly like the one that allowed you entrance to this plane, but something of similar construction, just lying idle at a distance. And that is where we'll stop this time, and we'll see what happens next time.
Ooh. Very, very interesting.
All right.
I can't wait to see Karan.
I like this.
Yeah.
We don't know if Karan is here. It's just me thinking about it.
Who knows? Who knows? I hope he is.
Well, should we do like a final sign-off?
Yes. Thank you to everybody who joined us for the first session of season 2 of Bludgeon. What's the name of the whole? I forgot the name.
Jeena.
Jeena.
Oh yeah, एक पल का जीना.
दो
पल का जीना. I just had the song in my head.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody for joining us. If you'd like to playtest Bludgeon or buy yourself a copy, the link is down in the description. You can also
You don't even have to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, essentially
Download
download a copy for yourself. And do join our Discord server as well, because the next time Tejas puts up like an adventure and that's open for players, please join in.
You don't even have to you don't even have to want a Bludgeon game. You just put up a request like, hey, anyone is starting a game. It's like, hey, do you want to try Bludgeon? Immediately. Just love the enthusiasm. And it is a great system. It is a really good system so I just got into it, and this is like many times people make systems where they have a theme and they have some mechanics and they do not match. Just like random mechanics with random themes. This one, it's like, yeah, the mechanics and the theme really speak to each other. They're like properly set. So that was great. And it's very good if you like to optimize, if you like to be good at one thing and then keep stacking that thing. Great system. So yeah.
Yeah, I do like it with like a lot of the skill checks as well, because you have, even if you have proficiency, it's just a 1d6 or a 2d6, and that makes sure that you don't always feel like you're going to succeed. It's not just some ridiculous plus 12 to your roll every time is going to be still like, oh, will I still get a 6 on that die?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but and also it's nice to just use spells without spell slots, so you just know some stuff, you can do it whenever you want, and you don't need to worry about like, oh man, I can't really flavor this, so like, that's pretty cool.
Thanks, guys.
How did you like it, Mon? First time playing? I think like Mon's the one that actively, since the first time they just posted about Bludgeon, has just been like, wow, this is so cool, I want to play it, but can I play it?
I quite, it's like there is so much there and you want a lot of it, and I'm just like, I'm just calculating in my brain, should I get this, how will this skill will work with this one, which proficiency should I get, which competency will be better for my character. And at the same time I got to play a Bhalu, Like it makes sense in this world to play a Bhalu, and it's just like it's a very interesting system, and I'm just like it kind of make your brain go that oh you have to do this and that, and it's like for a person like me who really, as Kush said, like to optimize a lot. Yeah, it's like it's very interesting, and right now I'm just like waiting to play my archer character because like I just want to see how cool I look as a Bhalu when I'm like shooting an arrow from a very far distance. So yeah, just waiting for that.
Awesome.
Oh, that's good. Be cool.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's like it's fun playing with Abhishek again and getting back to like Ajay and Madam Magarmach. Like it's that fun having that sort of dynamic in the first season, and it's like a lot of fun to see this kind of just like grow. So yeah, I had a lot of fun just upgrading my character sheet from 1 to 3 because I was just like, yes, so many things I can do.
Same. I mean, I usually just go, this looks cool, this sounds cool, I'll take it. And in D&D, that doesn't always translate to a good character or a quote-unquote optimized character, but here every option is pretty much giving you like versatility, in my case, because I have a lot of differentiate that do differentiates. And somehow, like in last season for a level 1 character, things made sense. Hopefully, things that I've chosen this time make sense and things stack.
Oh.
We'll see.
But
Well,
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say thank you all for the kind words, and yeah, I look forward to the next session. So I guess we'll see you next time.
Yes. See you next Friday, everybody. And
See you.
good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
But